Hello again. Good, very, very good to be with you again. Bill Pfeiffer speaking from Marysfield. Again, a reminder, if you like what we're doing, just put your finger on that like button and maybe subscribe to the things we're doing and share the things you hear with a friend. Might be of some help for someone, and it gives you an opportunity to do some ministry yourself. First, I'd like to share a piece of information about your own spiritual life, about the spiritual life in general, and then a very nice short story. I've spent about 58 years and thousands of hours counseling, pastoring, and offering, spiritual direction. I've come to the not so obvious but compelling conclusion: much of our helping is like hoping for first-class accommodations on the Titanic. Immediate problems are often solved. Marriages sometimes, or emergencies are avoided. Personal problems identified and helped. Spiritual direction, as far as the people are willing to go, we try to go that far. It feels good at the moment, but it seldom seems to go far enough. There's a hole in the hull of the ship that is below the waterline, and it's not being addressed. And then we're surprised when people complain or drown or resort to lifeboats. The fact is, most people I've tried to fix still need fixing. Their lives still need some kind of help at a deeper level in order to be able to say, this isn't going to come back, or I'm going to get healed. The immediate problem was handled, the situation changed, but the cause of the problem often was never touched, and the deep healing needed was never achieved. What is the core? And how do we touch it? If we can find the answer to these questions, we're coming close to what the world, religions, and churches mean by true ministry. True ministry is unlike any other form of helping. It has many disguises and many counterfeits. What Jesus was talking about was the absolute help, which alone is worthy of the name, the radical, deep down help that none of us can give to another. We can only point to it and promise that it's there. And in a way, isn't that the first and only work of true religion? What happens often is we deal with the surface problems, we deal with the things that are causing difficulty that are quite obvious, but the causes of those particular problems are deep, deep down. Sometimes it's so much of the load of junk that we bring from our childhood. You may not think it's there, but your emotions never forget it. And when those emotions are put into a life situation that they recall, those emotions erupt, and they take over your life, and often your marriage, your relationship, your happiness, your prayer life, and so on. And so those deep down things really need to be handled. You can, how do we solve all of this? You can call it grace, enlightenment, transformation, epiphany, baptism in the Spirit, revelation, surrender. But until such a threshold is walked through, people are never fully helped in any true, lasting sense. This kind of radical, deep down grace will ultimately lead you to a life of contemplative prayer. And that's where the solution ultimately really lies. All of that junk that we bring to our everyday lives is still alive deep down inside of us. The lack of love, the lack of security, the need for control, all of those things are still present, and they have to be dealt with. Contemplative prayer, centering prayer, deals with that, and it helps us to evacuate those problems, to kind of get them out into the air, to see them clearly, and to have them healed. Silence is God's first language, and there's just no other way around it. Unless the grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains only a grain of wheat. And I really recommend here that you watch some of Thomas Keating's talks on YouTube about centering prayer. And another lady, I think she's an Episcopal priest, Cynthia Bourgault, Bourgeault, Bourgault. She has a wonderful 30 or 35 minute segment on YouTube. That's just wonderful for centering prayer. I think you'll enjoy it. And if I can just get 5 people to get involved in centering prayer somewhere in their lives, I'll feel my life has been a success, because ultimately that is the solution, because it touches the problem deep down where the aches and the pain and the difficulties really arise, and it ends up giving you a full spiritual, psychological, emotional solution. That's what you're looking for, right? A full solution, not false promises or hope that something will get better. Short story now, nice little story. A little girl and her father were crossing a bridge. The father was kind of scared, so he asked his little daughter, "Sweetheart, please hold my hand so that you don't fall into the river." The little girl said, "No, Dad, you hold my hand." "What's the difference?" asked the puzzled father. "There's a big difference," replied the little girl. "If I hold your hand and something happens to me, chances are that I may let your hand go. But if you hold my hand, I know for sure that no matter what happens, you will never let my hand go." In any relationship, there is this essence of trust, and it's not so much of a bind as it is a bond. So hold on to the hand of the person whom you love rather than expecting them to hold on to yours. And of course, ultimately, for those of you who believe and trust and pray, hold on to Jesus' hand. He never, ever lets go. And no matter what the situation or the circumstances are, you'll always have a hand to hold on to, and you know that you're safe and secure. Reminds me of the song, "Keep your hand in the hand of the man who, stilled the waters." And he always, by holding your hand, by holding on to his hand, it stills the waters inside and helps you to move on in a way which it gives you much more freedom and comfort in your relationship, both with yourself, with God, and with others. Happiness tomorrow always begins by doing the truth today. Have a good day. Looking forward to being with you again tomorrow. God bless.